now return to Carl Sagan's Cosmos.
Edited for Hero players. I'm Carl Sagan. Just how playable is Hero? Meta scholars suggest it's Tier 1. Scientists have determined that the best extender in Hero is malicious. Ejector. If you look at the deck lists found on Archetype Discord, VR's channel, it's clear that ending on Plasma is the only way to win a game. Good afternoon, Genesys gamers! I'm MBT, and this is 100-point playtesting. One of the things I love most about Genesys format is when a totally innocuous card designed on a whim ends up, as a result of their weird, convoluted rule set, becoming a capital P problem. And I couldn't be happier that it appears to be happening with one of my favorite decks of all time. Presenting Hero.
You idiot!
So here's the list, Jacob Pullen's top 16 deck from Columbus. As always, I'll give you a background about the archetype, a little bit of a discussion about what I hope the deck can do, and of course, the card by card. But first, this video is sponsored by Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck. Looking for a place to find inspiration for Genesys decks? Well, look no further. I've already spent years telling you about how Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Deck is the best repository of deck lists, strategy articles, third-party assistance with alternate ways to play Yu-Gi-Oh!, and card collection management on the internet. But right now, it's also the best way to find Genesys lists. You can sort by deck type, filter high-level tournaments to see what's been working, and download decks you see in any format you desire. That's why I'm proud to be sponsored by www.ygoprodeck.com. Now back to the video. With that, let's handle Hero. Hero's been in a weird state in the TCG for a while now. Totally dependent on loses to everything setup tools like Destiny Hero Malicious, it's been best known for its ability to make a series of annoying floodgates for years. But in Genesys, without the extra heroes that doom them to the destinies, Hero's got to find a different way to suit up. Using this deck's extremely powerful going second tools like Absolute Zero, Sunrise, and Voltic Thunder, it can easily break through boards. So all that's left is to think of something to do on the play. Well, courtesy of Miracle Ejector, the deck's now got several low investment combos that weave a Cosmo Neos on your opponent's turn into their end board. It's just an as-a-thought that Konami forgot to ban. What can I say? You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become a VFD. So with that, let's get into the card by card. First up, a copy of Elemental Hero Neos, which you will usually be summoning off Elemental Hero Spirit of Neos. That's right, we are not playing with those terrible evil hero cards from a couple of sets back. We've got 2 Masked Hero Furnace and 2 Masked Hero Duskcrow. Make no mistake, when the new Masked Hero comes out, it will probably find a slot in here, though it doesn't accomplish too much. 3 copies of Elemental Hero Stratos, which has been on and off the Genesys list so much, I like that they have a 0 there, just to designate that yes, it has been touched. We've got 1 copy of Liquid Soldier, and then an Elemental Hero Shadow Mist. Then our necessary 3 Neospatians, a Dark Panther, a Mole, and an Aqua Dolphin. So each one of these is going to be sent to the graveyard for favorite contact in a different way. The first off of Miracle Ejector, which can send a Neospatian from your deck to the graveyard to special summon it, and if normal or special summon, can add a spell trap that mentions an Elemental Hero monster card's name from your deck to your hand. You'll be getting Engage Neospace, which will send another one from your deck to the graveyard. The third will be facilitated by End Shuffle, which can summon it from deck. There are some weird combos that can make use of the monster, but frequently it's just going to be on your end board, sitting there like an idiot. 3 a hero lives, 3 emergency call, the aforementioned Engage Neospace and End Shuffle, 2 instant contact, 1 miracle fusion, double polymerization, double form change. I'm not a huge fan of this one. I understand why it's in there, but I just think that it is nowhere near as powerful as it needs to be to warrant a slot. 1 mask change, and of course the 1 favorite contact. For pointed cards in the main, we're on 3 Fuwalos, because nothing in this main or side costs points except for non-engine. In the extra, we're on the Cosmo Neos, we're on a Wake Up Your Elemental Hero, double Contrast Hero Chaos, which you can usually weave through your combo. We've got an Elemental Hero Nebula Neos, which is pretty good. Double Mask Hero Anki, 1 Divine Wind, 1 Acid. I'd like to maybe find room for a Blast. Masked Hero Atomic, an Absolute Zero, a Koga, a Flame Wingman Infernal Rage, a Sunrise, and a Voltic Thunder in the side. We've got Kumungus's, 3 Illusion Gate, 3 Droplet, and this is one of the best Droplet decks in the history of time, 3 Perulia, and 3 Book of Eclipse. Dealer's choice on the non-engine, because again, you just have so much flexibility. So with that, let's check out a match. Our match is up against Regenesys Voiceless Voice, another list from the YCS. The duelist who played this actually said the worst part of the deck were the voiceless voices, but you need to play something with 25s in the title. All right, we're going second, so we'll get to see how we chew through a board here. They're going to begin with a copy of Saphira. They'll send the ritual spell and grab a Skull Guardian. From here, they can activate the effect of the Saphira to summon out the Skull Guardian and activate the low in graveyard alongside the Skull Guardian to grab a Ceravis and summon back the low for a Barrier of the Voiceless Voice. That will grab them the additional ritual summon on our turn of Blessing, and then, of course, afterwards, they can cycle back this copy of Saphira. That's a 25, which means they can activate Dark Spirit's Mastery. Yes, we're down that bad. Grab a Regenesis Archfiend. Then afterwards, use the Saphira to summon the Regenesis Archfiend to their side of the field, grab Regenesis, and use that to grab a Sage. So this is going to be a couple of Omnis, plus additional points of interaction once they fire off the Blessing. We're going to try and chew through the Omnis and pop that Blessing of the Voiceless Voice, probably with our Stratos effect. We're going to begin with a copy of A Hero Lives here. We'll summon a Stratos, we'll activate the effect, they let it through. We will grab a Master Hero Dusk Crow, then we'll activate the Emergency Call in order to grab a Miracle Ejector. From here, we can activate the Miracle Ejector. We can send that copy of Neospatian Aqua Dolphin to the graveyard and activate her effect for an end shuffle. After that, we can go for the end shuffle and attempt to shuffle back our copy of Stratos for a Spirit of Neos. We'll activate the effect. That will eat one of the two Omnis, probably a good get from our opponent, into a Stratos. We'll pop the Blessing, then we'll go for N engage Neospace for a Neospatian Man alongside a Polymerization, which we will then activate into the Sage, but we can get another one by special summoning this copy of Dusk Crow and activating its effect for a Furnace. We'll activate the Furnace effect, pitching our duplicate copy of N engage Neospace to grab a Polymerization to hand, and now we're off to the races. We'll go Polymerization in order to fuse into a copy of Infernal Rage. We'll activate its effect alongside the Miracle Ejector and the Master Hero Furnace to get that ritual spell out of the graveyard, but they have something we haven't accounted for, the Dogmatica Fleur-de-Lis, the Thunderbolt. They'll activate the effect to set a copy of Dogmatica Punishment. From here, we're going to activate the effect of the Infernal Rage for a Sunrise, then the Sunrise effect for a Miracle Fusion. Finally, we will go ahead and activate the effect of our End Shuffle to draw a card, activate the effect of our Miracle Fusion in order to fusion summon out a copy of Absolute Zero, then go to the battle phase, to which our opponent will Dogmatica Punishment our Absolute Zero. Wrong choice. We get in for well over lethal. So it's time for game 2, and we are once again going second. One thing about this Regenesis Vovo list is it really just opens the same hand over and over again. They're going to go once again for Saphira for Skull Guardian. Skull Guardian this time pitching a copy of Regenesis Archfiend so they can use their normal on low. Ooh, exciting. Then they'll activate the low effect for a Barrier, activate the Barrier in order to grab the Blessing, use the Blessing to cycle back to Saphira, and you know what, maybe they got another Regenesis Archfiend in the grip. It's a couple of points, but not too prohibitive. Instead, they're going to go Code for Archfiend, and then they'll activate the effect of the Archfiend for a Regenesis, and once again fire off that copy of Regenesis. That will grab them from deck to hand to Regenesis Sage, and it's literally the exact same board. It's the exact same board once again. Okay, they'll set one card and we'll draw for turn. How are we going to deal with this? Well, we'll begin with Perulia. We'll go to the main phase and tribute off for a Kumungus. We'll go for a Hero Lives afterwards, which eats the Sage. Then we'll go for Miracle Ejector. We'll activate the Miracle Ejector on field for a copy of N Engage Neospace. Then after that, we can go ahead and fire N Engage Neospace, pitching the Liquid Soldier for a Spirit of Neos and a Polymerization. Spirit of Neos is a crazy powerful card. We'll use its effect for an N Shuffle. Then after that, we can go ahead and fire off that N Shuffle, shuffling the Miracle Ejector for a Stratos. Stratos here will pop the back row. Weren't expecting that, were you? And we'll go into an Elemental Hero Neos into Polymerization. Here we will go for Voltic Thunder, and because we used a normal monster, we can not only pop the board, but bring back Stratos and grab a Dusk Crow. From here, it's just a hop, skip, and a jump to lethal. Dusk Crow to summon to our side of the field, use its effect for a Furnace. Then afterwards, we can go ahead and use the Furnace in order to grab a copy of Polymerization. In the process, we will pitch the Furnace so we can activate the effect of the End Shuffle to draw a card. That's a nice one. We'll go Polymerization here in order to make a copy of Elemental Hero Sunrise, keeping the Stratos on board. Then we'll trigger a whole bunch of effects in graveyard, sending that copy of Prayers of the Voiceless Voice to the Banished Zone once again, before activating Miracle Fusion, courtesy of Sunrise, and summoning from our extra deck Absolute Zero once more. We will go to the battle phase and get in for lethal again. These cards are crazy. All right, I know we got the 2-0, but I want to show off the Cosmo Neos combo, so sit through this. We're going first. We're going to begin with a copy of Miracle Ejector after firing off a useless Fuelos. We'll send that Neospatian Aqua Dolphin to the graveyard. That's 1. We will grab an N Engage Neospace, and, well, this is the perfect card to discard in Shadow Mist. We will bring out a Spirit of Neos. We'll grab a Polymerization. Then we'll trigger the Spirit of Neos to grab, well, it doesn't really matter because we have everything we need already. Our opponent's going to summon a copy of Gizmek Uka, the Festive Fox of Fecundity. A big card from this weekend that ends up doing a lot. Here, grabbing a Regenesis Archfiend, but you're not going to be able to deploy that if you can't activate cards or effects. After that, we're just going to go ahead and normal summon an Elemental Hero Stratos, go ahead and grab a Master Hero Dusk Crow, and though we're taking, I think, 300 per, it's not that big of a deal. We'll summon the Neos, then afterwards they will deal 300. We'll go for the Polymerization. For an Infernal Flame Wingman, we will activate its effect to grab a copy of Favorite Contact, and the pieces are in place. We'll cycle out for an Elemental Hero Sunrise. We'll activate its effect for a Miracle Fusion, and then after all that, we can go ahead and activate the Master Hero Dusk Crow, grab a copy copy of Furnace to hand. We have so much crap in our grip that we don't intend to activate, so it's no big deal to keep it in there. We will send an N-Engage Neospace, then afterwards we'll activate a Polymerization in order to fusion summon a Contrast Hero Chaos. We'll go for an End Shuffle here for a Neospatian Grand Mole, and that's the last piece of the puzzle. We'll set 2 and pass back to our opponent. In draw phase, we will activate Favorite Contact. Down comes Cosmo Neos. We'll activate the effect, and they will activate Genesys Code, which we will negate with Contrast Hero Chaos. They can't activate cards or effects for the rest of the turn, so they can summon this copy of Genesys Lord, but of course the Sunrise protects our Cosmo Neos, and we can Mask Change into an Atomic at end step in order to bring back the Dusk Crow and trigger its effect for another Furnace. This is very over, especially because we can pick the board apart courtesy of Sunrise. We'll draw for turn. They'll activate the effect of their warrior, but that's fine. We'll activate Elemental Hero Stratos' effect to pop back row courtesy of this E-Call, and now we don't have to worry about anything anymore. Let's go to the battle phase, send their last remaining monster, and get in for lethal. Fun game. So we're back with the deck, and that was a lot better than I expected. Let's do the pros and cons. First, the pros. 1, it is really, really good at going second. I was a little suspicious because end boards in Genesys can get pretty layered, but leading with Dark Hole Heavy tends to massively simplify the remainder of the setup. 2, the Cosmo line is way more consistent than you're expecting. It's any way to Ejector, of which there are like a billion, and then like one other guy in hand who's either a hero or a Neospatian. It's not a tall ask. And 3, this is one of those decks that opponents will misplay into. The cards are so dense and they do so much, they're going to miss something. And the cons. 1, really no game against Nibiru at all. Hero's old weakness comes to a head once more. This deck doesn't ever put up a negate that can stop the rock since Chaos is field only. 2, there are choke points no matter how well you disguise them. Keeping you off Polymerization kind of automatically wins the game. And 3, it's a big list. There's a non-zero chance you just brick, such is the life of a Garnet Enjoyer. All in all, I am pleasantly surprised by this list's playability, and I look forward to jamming a lot of it.